What's up everybody, Unrested back again on a very rainy, nasty, cold day here in Kobe, Japan. Today we're talking about a subject that I'm getting asked about quite a bit again, and it's a subject I need to rehash, and that is teaching in Japan, teaching English specifically. Let's get into the facts right away. First of all, the reason you can get a work visa for teaching English in Japan is that it is a job that most Japanese people cannot fill. That means they do not have the skill ability, which is the ability to speak English on a native level in order to teach it to their own countrymen. Now this may sound like a very harsh statement, but it's very much true. Japan's English comprehension level is even below that of Cambodia. On average, about 90% of the people you will meet can only speak a handful of English words at best. There is merely, I would say there's literally only probably thousands of people in this country that can speak on a native level. And most of them it's because they've lived for a very long time in a foreign country. So speaking English, a skill that is very rare for most Japanese people, and that's why it is easy for you to get a work visa in order to come here and fill that job. Now, to get that work visa, to make it easy, the best way to go about it is to have a degree from college. Now, recently, in the past years, it has become possible to teach English in Japan without a college degree. Now, I myself came here with a college degree, and that was part of the way that I got my work visa. So I do not have the full information as to how to come here with no degree. I do not have a background in doing that. I see nothing wrong with that. My degree was in teaching art, so it didn't really come into play as to helping me actually work my job. I will say that there is a great video out on the internet right now. I forget the YouTuber's name, but I will go home tonight and find his link and link you to his video, which is called Teaching in Japan Without a Degree. He is on his way to putting together everything and all the paperwork he needs to get a work visa to teach in Japan without a degree, and I want you to go ahead and watch that video if that's your situation. That said, moving on to other jobs, if you do wish to come to Japan in order to work something else, and it can be just about anything outside of teaching, you better have done some damn good research. You also probably should have a close to native level Japanese speaking ability. You need to have above conversation level. The reason because that is every place that you would work that is not English-based company is going to speak only Japanese almost 100% of the time. I don't know when there would be a rare exception that you would not, only if perhaps they had a Gaijin customer come into the store that you worked at, or a Gaijin client. So when people write to me and ask, oh, can I just, anybody can be a construction worker, an immigrant can just come into America and work, off the grid as a construction worker. You can't do that in Japan. You will not be able to do that. Immigration is way, way, way stricter in Japan. That's why the Gaijin population is 1% here, because they are very strict, they are very hardcore, they keep tabs on everything. If you are walking down the street, the police will ask to see your Gaijin card, they will ask to see your passport, yes. So there is no sneaking by. So, for those of you wondering about other jobs outside of teaching, I'm not going to say it's impossible, I'm not going to say no, you can't do it. But I am going to say you better have researched your stuff. If your first thing to do is to come to my channel and type a comment, hey, can I do this? Then no, probably not, because you obviously have done zero research on it if the first source you're going to is a random guy on the internet. You want to get in touch with either someone in Japan who's working in the field that you're already in. You want to talk to them first. You want to make sure you have at least some sort of Japanese conversation level, good enough to converse with people that are already working the job that you want to get into. I see a lot of people who ask me about getting into IT and getting into computer stuff, all different types of computer-based jobs. I mean, most of those are filled here in Japan. That's not something they do need to outsource from another country, because a lot of people have backgrounds in computers in Japan. So that is possible to fill, because there are certain aspects that would deal with foreign clients as far as Japanese companies working for them. So they might need translators or somebody to do work that becomes an English-based piece of work. And you can look into those too, but again, research, research, research. I can't emphasize that enough. I love it when people come to my channel and ask me questions about different stuff like this. I love it when they, you know, come to me and ask about how to plan to come to Japan after they've already done like a little bit of planning themselves. But what I don't like is just seeing, hey, I want to work this in Japan, what do I do? That means you don't want to work that because you don't have any idea what you need to do. You've just come to some person to answer every question for you. And that's not the place to start. Job market is getting harder and harder, guys. It's getting rougher and rougher. So if you're in a very competitive field, if you're in a place where it's competitive to get a job, or if you're trying to get into a place that is hard to get a job, it's rare or unlikely that a person in that place or in that competitive field is just going to drop all their, you know, everything they're doing and stop and give you a bunch of information on what and how to do it. Especially someone who's not in that field and doesn't know anything about it. They're probably not going to stop and drop everything they're doing and look how to get you into that field either, because they're probably busy with their own life. So, like I've said before, I never mind getting asked questions by people who've done a ton of research, who've already looked into a couple things, and they just want to fill in a few gaps of information that are hard to find on the internet or take actually living in Japan to answer. That's cool, man. I love answering that. It's something I can do, and that's something I totally understand when people come to me for. That being said, though, don't give up any hopes of ever coming here. I see some people who say, I watch your channel, and I know I'll never go to Japan, but it's fun to just watch you. Don't ever give up hope. You can do it. You can come here. Like I said, now there's the possibility of teaching here without a degree. How many doors does that open up for people who don't have degrees? First of all, I don't think a degree really makes you that much better at teaching English unless it actually is a degree in English. I don't think any of those TEFL or different certifications make you better. Those are bullshit. My honest opinion, those are bullshit. You know, if you speak English, you're teaching it here on a level in which is not going to need like diagramming of sentences or super high level vocabulary. You're going to be teaching basics, okay? Don't give up your dream if it is to come here to Japan, and don't think that teaching English is below you. Don't think that, oh, I don't want to use that to get my foot in the door. Don't think about that. If there is a different job you want to work here, get your foot in the door with teaching English. It's the easiest way to get here now. Look into that, research it, do all your work that you're going to do to find which place you want to work at, which place will interview in your country to get you overseas, and then send me some questions. Let me fill in those gaps for you. Let me answer some of those questions for you, post them on here, and allow me to make more JFAQs. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed what you saw here today. I am Unrested. Like, comment, and subscribe. This was JFAQ.